let's go ahead and hit all the parts that we can do with this, namely the boiler system, and some of these stacks here. Actually, I got a little overflow there on the some of those little hemispheres. So let's get these stacks done. Got some of that pool there. Okay, a little more black. Yeah, if you do this type of painting style for the majority of your miniatures, you're going to go through a lot of washes. So just be prepared to either make a lot of washes or to buy a lot of washes, because this really is the bread and butter of this technique. So I'm going to go ahead and do all the silver parts with Bad Out Black, and I'll be back in just 1 second. So I've got the gold down, and as you may notice, I had another change of heart on that pauldron again, and decided that it needed to be gold too. Mostly just for color balance. We had so much silver that the little bits of gold that we had on there started to look a little strange. So we've got some highlighting we're going to do on this gold here, but I'd like to come back to that in just a minute, because we've got some more gold that we're going to put down in a minute after we get some base colors put down. So if you notice, on both shoulders we have these lovely decorative plates. So what I'd like to do with these is we're going to take some Deneb stone, and we're going to just fill in the entire thing. It's going to be thinned down. Don't want to clog the detail here. So just going to go all the way up. There's a lip around the edges here. And we're going to just cover all the detail and go all the way up to this lip. And that's going to be the background color for these little relief sculpture plates. And it's okay to get it up onto the surrounding border that is raised. We just don't want to go past it. In fact, getting the inside edge of it is probably a good idea. So there we go. That's looking pretty good. And then let's go ahead and do the other one. Let's get this in focus. There we go. So this one's a little harder to see because it's under this giant pauldron. And just make sure that you keep your paints watered down, and it'll go pretty quickly. The coverage on this is quite good with the Citadel base colors here. So, alright. Let's get up under the pauldron the best we can. And essentially we're just laying down the background color for these, and then we're going to hit all of the raised detail. So we've got the logos on both of the shoulder pads done now, and it is time to do a little bit of washing. We're gonna actually do a Griffon sepia wash on these areas. It's safe to do on the gold and on the the Deneb stone areas. We're not going to do a particularly heavy wash of it, but it'll be enough to bring out the detail in these areas. So just get a little bit of that, and we're not going to really worry about diluting it too much. There we go. I'll put a generous amount down. Okay, so there we are on that side. This step will go pretty quickly. There we go on that one. So let's start, while those are drying, let's start working on some of the other gold areas. And I think what we will employ today on the rest of these areas, and this is going to sound a little strange at first, but if you've watched some of my other videos and you've heard what I've talked about with the color theory, to get a darker color, you can add its complement. Now, gold is essentially yellow, and yellow's complement is purple. So we can do some purple here, and we're going to water it down a little bit. We don't want straight Leviathan purple, but we'll do some shading with it here. Let's start out down here. I'm just going to see how this looks. Yeah, that's looking good. Okay, so let's go ahead and start applying this to the whole shebang here. And we're going to drag down with it. It really is actually a surprisingly good effect on these areas. It really gives it sort of a brassy, bronzy, worn look. And I really dig it. Okay, so we got that. That went on pretty easily. Let's get this top edge. And then on the inside of the pauldron, just get a quick little layer. So we'll get a little here, and we got to make sure not to get any on the blue, because it's going to look really funny if you get this purple washed out on the blue. Okay. All right. So up here, that looks really nice in the little portholes there. Okay. There we are. We'll get the one on the underside here. This one's always sort of awkward. Alright. Now, I believe that's all of our gold parts that we're going to be using that wash on. Though, you know, I think I'm going to try and get a little bit on the gold that's on these logos. I may regret attempting to do this, but mostly just in the places where we have large surface areas. Okay, that looks good. This one over here has a massive surface area on it. So, we got loads and loads of places for this wash to fit in on gold surface there. Okay, so that's looking great. Now, our next step is we're going back to the silver, and we're going to get the edges on the pads there, the logo areas. This time we're going to use a little bit of bolt gun metal, just because I'd like something just a smidge darker. And bolt gun metal is really runny. Okay, so let's get something kind of fine. I put way too much bolt gun metal down here. So here we are. And once again, we are really trying to use the side of our brush. There we are. Alright, I'm going to have to get around the edges here, but I'll be back in just a second. Okay, so we got all the gold washed now, and, oh, we had the gold washed before. That's right. We just got finished doing the silver lining on the shoulder pads, or the emblems on the shoulder pads here. This guy's rather unwieldy. And then this one is done there. So he's just about done here. I think the only thing I really want to do left on him at this point are the eyes, and probably realistically should have done those a little earlier, but that's okay. And we're just going to get a little bit of white paint, just plain white paint. I'm going to water it down just a little bit, and I'm going to get the most accurate brush I can find here. Probably going to need a little more white paint than this. Brush tends to soak up a lot of paint before it's pointed. Okay, so here's the plan. Just gonna try to, geez, sort of overdid it on those just a little, but that's okay. We'll just fill those sockets in with white. And then what we'll do, now that they're full of white paint, is we will I'll wait until it dries just a little bit, and then I'll apply a light blue wash to give it sort of a blue glowy look. And then we'll cut back in on the rest of it and make sure that it's nice and tidy around the I guess the eyebrow ridge area. So alright, I'm going to give that a chance to dry and go ahead and apply the wash, and I'll be back when that's all dry. So guys, here is Ol Rowdy. Got his eyes all done now, and so I hope you guys enjoyed the tutorial. I'm going to give him a little spin here, and I will try and get some footage of him up once I get the base all done. And I will see you guys in the next video. If you haven't subscribed yet, please take the time to do that. If you have any comments or questions or anything you'd like to talk about regarding this miniature or the other miniatures like it, feel free to leave me comments or shoot me a PM. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.